Hey, Scrap and Ames fans, and welcome back to our second Sunday Scraplift Sistas. Oh, that's a mouthful. And today we are scrap lifting the lovely Chrissi Mannix. I hope I said that right, Chrissi, sorry. We're doing one of her recent-ish art journal pages, so something a bit different, and definitely a bit different for me, but I loved how this art journal page turned out. So straight into it here, and I'm using some mixed media paper here, so it is a thicker kind of paper than your normal sort of stock standard white copy paper, and I'm using a Kaiser Craft a glittery turquoisey kind of spray mist to spray this silhouette here, stencil. Now in Chrissy's video, which I'll link below, she does use the gel plate, but I don't have one of those, so I'm making do with what we've got. But it is also a good way to show you guys that you don't necessarily have to have the same equipment as someone to scrap lift their idea. So doing the same idea here, but just not using the same kind of equipment that she has, and the same similar, going through a similar process for the end result. But in her video she does a lot of cool other techniques using the gel plate, but I don't have that. So I'm adding a couple of different layers here of the blue. So as I said, I started with that really deep blue, and then I add this ink spray, I think it's the Dilutions ink spray, over the top, just to add another color or tone of blue, just because I just wanted another tone. Now Chrissy's is a couple of pink tones of her silhouette. I just went with something a little bit different, just because I was feeling a bit more blues than I was pinks, really. That's just me. So in my art journal here, I am plastering a page with black gesso from Colour Blast, as she does in her art journal. Just using a palette knife. Debated whether or not to use a paintbrush or palette knife. Went with the palette knife. Worked all the same, really. I think kind of made a bit more smoother than maybe a paintbrush would have, I guess, and a bit more of a flatter stroke than maybe a paintbrush probably would have as well. And the good thing with this gesso is it was really thin. So some of my gessos, I don't know about anyone else, can be quite thick to put on. This one's not, so also cut down the drying time a little bit, which was fantastic, because I really was trying to get this one done, and amongst a whole heap of other work I was trying and finish off. And then, just like Chrissy does, I add some detail into the background just using some lids, good old lids. So I used the gesso lid there to add those big round circles, and then basically grabbing some other size lids from my stash of goodies. So the lid to the spray mist bottle. I think I grab another size lid from, I think it's the stamp cleaner bottle. I can't even remember. Yeah, it was really random. I do think Chrissy actually added some stamping in the background of hers, I think. But I didn't. I might have skipped that step, I think. I can't remember. But it's all good. It's all good in the hood. All sort of relatively turns out pretty much the same. But as I said, I really loved how this turns out. I loved the fact that my hands were so inked up and painted up at the end. It was just like, I had so much fun. I have to say, it's a bit like my whole philosophy on children when they're in childcare. If they're not dirty, it means they haven't had a good day. If your hands aren't covered in some kind of, arty mess, then it means you haven't had fun creating. If you're not walking away with a bit of glitter or a enamel dot or, glue or something on you, then you haven't had a bit of fun. All right, so while my art journal page sort of finished or did a bit of drying, I instead of blasting it with the heat tool straight off the bat, I let it dry on its own for a bit, and I went back to work on my silhouette. And just like Chrissy did, I just grabbed some stamps, some random stamps here, and just stamped around my guy. And that's what I went for here. I sort of got the image of, this was a dude. I kind of had the whole smouldering, Mr. Grey, hello Mr. Grey kind of look happening. It was a bit different to Chrissy's take on her art journal page was about her. I definitely didn't make this about, well, about me as such. Hers was about her as an artist. Mine kind of gave me the vibe at the end about my other half. I was kind of feeling a bit lovey, bit loved up. Don't know why, Cover your ears now. You might feel like, barfing into a bucket, all the love feels. No, I don't know, just kind of feeling it, the blue tones, and then I was just reaching for all the random stamp patterns, and then just the way the silhouette stood, and I don't know, just kind of gave me that vibe. So that's where I ended up going with it, I guess. So I fussy cut him out, as you can see here, and it doesn't really show very well in the video or in the close-ups. I couldn't get quite a good snap, but that Kaiser Craft spray is phenomenal with the glitter in it. It really even could almost outdo your Heidi Swap Colour Shine, I have to say. Now, I got given this one and a gold one and another colour, and the gold, I have to say, my son used yesterday in one of his layouts. He was doing some creating with me, and it's just fantastic with the shimmer and the way it sits on the page. It doesn't leave an oily residue, so I'm so glad that I got given that in as a Christmas present from one of my design team swaps for Kidaholic kits. It is beautiful. Absolutely, they are beautiful. So definitely going to get my hands on some more. And if you don't have any, suggest grab yourself some Kaiser Craft ones. Yeah, I was so cheering. Actually, speaking of which, I don't know if there's any in the Kidaholic kits shop. Just a little side note there. But yeah, beautiful. Now, so as Chrissy does, she splats some pink all over her page and all over her craft desk. Now, I tried it with the Dilutions paints, but it was too thick, so I ended up going for some Flutterby acrylic paint, which was really nice and flowy, so it really gave a good ability to sort of just splatter it everywhere, which was awesome. Now, drying time on this was ages, so because they were big chunks, so I sat there for ages with my heat gun and I had to dry it because I needed to get this layout done so we could get it up today, and it's already late Sunday afternoon, so it'll be tonight before this video goes up for you guys. Hopefully there's no issues, but yes, it did take ages. So yeah, now I'm just going to stick my Smouldering Man to the page, and then realise that the silhouette I ended up picking of the 3 that's in my stencil set was too big, so he has to lose his legs, unfortunately, but that's okay. Oh good, it's my art journal, who cares? Look at my fingers already. And I really love the faintness of the stamps in the background already. I wasn't sure how well they would turn out because they're not really specific background stamps, those stamps I did originally on the silhouette, but it worked really well. I think, anyway, it just adds that right touch. I added this really bubbly sort of spotty one, and it just turned out quite perfectly. I think it just added that right touch. Now I'm using this Kaiser Craft stamp here, and I wasn't sure. I was going to put hello, and then I changed my mind and went with grateful. And that's what I said. It was just giving me that lovey, vibey feel. So it was kind of an art journal page, sort of expressing my love and gratefulness for my partner, I guess. That was in my head all of a sudden. I don't know why, it just came to me. So I guess that's the mood that struck all of a sudden. There wasn't any particular reason yesterday that just happened that way. So that's where it went. He doesn't even know, to be truthful. So unless he watches this video or I show him the page, he's not going to ever know. But yeah. Now, because I'm so impatient, and I really hope I haven't done anything stuffed my pen, but I'm using a paint pen here to give a bit of an outline to my Smouldering Man. That's what he shall be called here on in. But paint's not quite dry, and there's glue, and just not patient. So I had to keep making sure that I wasn't stuffing the tip of the pen. which I probably have, but anyway, I did it. It's done. So I add some of these Tim Holtz small talk stickers, which are a bit like, you know, these lovey sort of quotes, cryptic-y kind of ones. And that's it. Oh, and I had some paint splatters there too with the pen. And that's it for my journal page and our scrap lift for this week. So we're hoping to keep on top of these and get you some more every Sunday. So stay tuned between me and Scrappy Cheeky Lauren, and we shall see you hopefully next Sunday with another one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.